Agree with a lot of what Stephen A. Smith's got to say, but when it comes to Caitlin Clark, he's been very, very on point and very, very fair. When it comes to some things basketball, he is very knowledgeable. And then there's other things that he's completely absurd over. And we know that, all right? Sometimes I think it's part of his shtick. But he's not wrong on this one, I guarantee you that. Before we jump into that, I saw this, folks.
The world of professional women's basketball has witnessed significant discussion regarding Caitlin Clark's meteoric rise and its effects on the WNBA landscape. Sports commentator Stephen A. Smith recently addressed these dynamics during an appearance with Patrick Bet-David, focusing on the complex relationship between established players and the league's newest superstar. Clark's commercial appeal has reached unprecedented levels, with collectible items commanding extraordinary prices. A recent auction saw a graded Slam magazine featuring Clark on the cover sell for $4,819, demonstrating the remarkable market demand surrounding her brand. This price point for a magazine, not a trading card or rookie memorabilia, illustrates the exceptional drawing power she possesses.
And this was actually spoken about like it was fact. First of all, surely the people are actually vetting their sources. Second of all, how do you not realize it's a joke halfway through? How do you not realize this is clearly Centel or The Onion or something like that halfway through?
Can you type in Brittany Griner?
I'd bring you on.
I'd have fun with you. Brittany Griner, where she says, right there, watch this. Every time we play her, there's this commotion, like this loud rumbling.
The Iowa standout has transformed league metrics across multiple categories. Television ratings have surged, attendance figures have climbed substantially, and gate revenues have experienced dramatic increases since her arrival. These improvements have positioned her as a transformative figure comparable to legendary players who revolutionized their respective sports. Smith drew parallels between Clark's situation and historical precedents in professional athletics. He referenced the treatment Michael Jordan received during his early NBA career, particularly from the Detroit Pistons, who employed physical tactics to neutralize his impact. Jordan eventually adapted by building physical strength and developing strategies to overcome aggressive defensive approaches.
This is crazy as hell. I posted this on my Twitter, @RoadsRants. Go follow me. This is nuts. A Caitlin Clark Slam magazine cover just sold for over $4,800. A magazine, not a trading card, not a sports card, folks, not a rookie card, a magazine. She's the needle, folks. Look at this. Right here.
The comparison extends to other transformative athletes, including Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, and Kobe Bryant, all of whom face similar resentment from peers during their careers. According to Smith's analysis, Clark possesses shooting range reminiscent of Stephen Curry, with the ability to score from virtually anywhere on the court. Clark's rookie season achievements include Rookie of the Year honors and finishing 4th in MVP voting, an exceptional accomplishment for a first-year player. Despite not capturing a national championship during her college career, losing to LSU one season and South Carolina another, her professional transition has been remarkable.
From the stands. Turns out it's people, thousands of them, just...
There's a loud rumbling from the stands. Turns out it's people. How do you not get this? A joke? Like, whatever about the crowd in the past. Brittany Griner's played in finals. There were crowds there at finals. She's played in the Olympics. There's 20,000 people at the Olympics finals. She's played.
The underlying tension stems from established players' perspectives on recognition and attention. Many talented athletes, particularly African-American women, have performed at elite levels for years without receiving comparable media coverage or fan engagement. Clark's arrival has shifted the spotlight dramatically, creating a complex dynamic within the league. Smith's commentary suggests that some players struggle with the attention Clark receives, feeling that similar recognition should have been afforded to longtime contributors. This sentiment, while understandable, reflects broader patterns seen across professional sports when transcendent talents emerge.
Let me just put it right here. This is the cover. $4,819 for a graded copy. It's a badass looking cover. It's a badass cover, no doubt about it. But not a trading card, but a magazine. Folks, that young lady she is this league. And Stephen A. Smith is going to bring something very interesting.
The demographic aspects of Clark's fan base contribute to the discussion. Her appeal extends beyond traditional WNBA audiences, attracting casual sports fans and dedicated followers from other sports. This crossover appeal has introduced new viewers to women's professional basketball, expanding the league's reach significantly. However, this growth has created friction among some players who question the nature of the league's expansion. Rather than embracing the increased visibility and financial opportunities, certain individuals have expressed frustration with the circumstances surrounding the growth.
In a college national championship game, they've always been full.
Sitting there watching on purpose, it's very
watching on purpose. Just sitting there watching on purpose. How did you not realize? Like, how did you read this out? And like, I saw another podcast read it out, and genuinely they're reading it out, and someone midway through reading it out goes, "There's no way this is real. I'm going to keep reading it, but there's no way this is real." How did you...
The situation has led to frequent public disputes between players and fans, creating negative publicity for the league. Unlike other professional sports where athlete-fan conflicts are rare occurrences, the WNBA has experienced regular incidents of players criticizing supporters, creating an unwelcoming atmosphere. Recent examples include situations involving players like DJ Carrington, where public statements have alienated potential supporters. This pattern of behavior contrasts sharply with other professional leagues, where star athletes typically maintain positive relationships with their fan base. The jealousy factor appears to play a significant role in these dynamics. Some players seem unable to recognize the financial benefits that Clark's presence could bring to all league participants. Instead of viewing her success as an opportunity for collective advancement, certain individuals focus on what they perceive as unfair treatment or attention distribution.
He brings up somebody I bring up a lot, right? I always say she's like the hybrid love child of Larry Bird and Steph Curry, with the branding, the pull, the fever, the fire that Michael Jordan once brought to the NBA. And Michael Jordan was treated like shit over it too in the league. But the Bulls, the Chicago Bulls, had enforcers.
Historical context shows that resentment toward exceptional talents is common in professional sports. The key difference lies in how leagues and players handle these situations. Successful organizations typically find ways to channel competitive tension positively, using it to elevate overall performance levels. Clark's impact extends beyond individual statistics or team performance. She represents a catalyst for broader change within women's professional basketball, bringing unprecedented attention to a league that has struggled with visibility and financial sustainability throughout its existence. The challenge for the WNBA moving forward involves harnessing this momentum while managing internal conflicts. The league's growth potential remains substantial, but realizing this potential requires cooperation from all stakeholders, including players who may feel overshadowed by Clark's prominence.
I believe this is real. They're watching on purpose. They're just watching on purpose? Like, oh, come on.
Disruptive. She says WNBA games used to be a chill, quiet place. You could bring your laptop and relax, maybe even get a little work done. But now it's like there's large gatherings of people watching us from the stands. Some of them are yelling crazy shit about what they're seeing, putting unfair pressure on us to score, like we're there for their entertainment. You are.
Smith's analysis emphasizes that rising tides lift all boats, suggesting that Clark's success creates opportunities for everyone involved in the league. The question remains whether established players will embrace this perspective or continue to view her success through a lens of resentment and missed opportunities. The situation reflects broader themes in professional athletics, where individual excellence often creates tension within team environments. How the WNBA navigates these challenges will likely determine whether Clark's impact becomes a lasting positive force or a source of continued division within the league. The commercial success surrounding Clark's brand demonstrates the untapped potential within women's professional basketball. Her ability to command premium prices for memorabilia and generate substantial media attention suggests that the league possesses significant growth opportunities if internal conflicts can be resolved effectively.
Bill Cartwright, Will Perdue, Horace Grant, they had guys that would knock your head off if you came after Jordan. If Jordan got hot and somebody, tried to get way too physical with him, somebody checked their ass. Listen to what Stephen A's got to say.
It's really not about her, guys. It's about what she represents. Before she ever came along,
Media personalities recently fell victim to an obvious satirical article about WNBA players complaining about actual fans attending games. The fake story spread across multiple platforms before being recognized as satire. The fabricated article claimed that WNBA star Brittany Griner expressed frustration about crowds making noise during games. According to the fictional quote, she allegedly said there was loud rumbling from the stands that turned out to be people, thousands of them, just sitting there watching on purpose.
The whole thing is toxic. I saw a guy with his daughter in the crowd, both of them yelling, couldn't hear what they were saying exactly, but it was either my performance or some light racism. But here's where I'm going with this. So the WNBA says they want to get paid more.
They just got sent out. Like, how do you get sent out? Like, this has already gone semi-viral. This has already gone semi-viral because the other podcast was reading it out. And they at least realized halfway through reading, they're like, this.
The satirical piece described how WNBA games were previously a chill, quiet place where attendees could bring laptops and relax, maybe even get a little work done. The fake story suggested that actual engaged fans were now creating an uncomfortable environment for players. Multiple media figures discussed this story as factual content. The PBD podcast initially featured the story, with Stephen A. Smith later commenting on it during his show. Smith made additional remarks about Griner's past imprisonment in Russia, suggesting she shouldn't complain about her current situation.
there were a lot of outstanding basketball players who happened to be black females that was doing their thing on the WNBA level. And they never got this kind of shine. This girl, the Golden Goose, comes along and she wreaks havoc. She's the Rookie of the Year. She's fourth in the league in MVP voting. Fourth in the league, her rookie year.
Wow.
The satirical nature of the story becomes evident through several obvious clues, references to fans watching on purpose, and complaints about people actually paying attention to the game clearly indicate parody content. The article follows typical satirical news formats similar to The Onion or other comedy publications. Some podcast hosts began questioning the story's authenticity while reading it aloud, recognizing midway through that the content seemed unrealistic. However, other media personalities presented the information without verification or skepticism.
This isn't real, is it? This isn't real, is it? Like, I got linked it by so many people. If you guys don't know, with video ideas, there's guys that email me. I'll get emails for video ideas. I'll get DMs with video ideas. I have so many people hit me up with video ideas, and I'm so appreciative of it because it makes it easier. Like, I'll sometimes miss something. As much as I do doom scroll Twitter, I will miss something occasionally. But, like, I got sent that by a good few people. I'm like, literally.
The situation demonstrates how satirical content can spread rapidly when media figures fail to verify sources properly. The obviously comedic elements of the story, including references to laptop usage at games and complaints about engaged audiences, should have immediately identified it as parody content. Professional sports journalists noted the lack of proper vetting procedures that allowed this satirical piece to be treated as legitimate news. The incident particularly embarrassed high-profile media personalities who have significant platforms and influence.
Standing. She's like Steph Curry. She could pull up from anywhere. You understand? She has that kind of capability. Didn't win a national championship. Lost to LSU one year. Lost to South Carolina another year. But she's outstanding and clearly worthy of being the number one overall pick. And what I was saying to everybody is ride the wave. Rising tide lifts all boats. The girl is spectacular. It's not like she's not a scrub. She's not only can play, she's a star caliber player.
WNBA coverage has historically lacked dedicated sports journalism, with limited beat reporters covering the league comprehensively. This shortage of specialized coverage may contribute to inadequate fact-checking when stories about the league circulate. The satirical article played on existing narratives about WNBA attendance and fan engagement. By exaggerating these themes to absurd levels, the parody content successfully fooled multiple media outlets and personalities.
Responded with fake. First thing I said was fake. No producer, nothing. And the worst part is you listen to Stephen A. Smith. This is a man like that ESPN have given everything to. Every single radio show, everything. Everyone spots everyone else's money just to have him. And this is what he goes and says.
Brittany Griner was in a Russian prison.
This episode serves as a reminder about the importance of source verification, especially when content seems designed to confirm existing biases or narratives. Media professionals should implement better fact-checking procedures to avoid similar embarrassing situations. The incident also reflects broader challenges in modern media consumption, where satirical content can spread as quickly as legitimate news without proper context or verification. Social media amplification often occurs before anyone questions the authenticity of viral content. Sports media personalities with large platforms bear particular responsibility for verifying information before sharing it with audiences. The influence these figures wield makes accurate reporting especially important for maintaining credibility and public trust.
Who draws this attention? And maybe it's because that fan base that she has and her being a young white lady contributes to it. So what? Benefit from it. And then you have a lot of folks that have come to the defense of numerous WNBA players because they were pointing out, like, this has been going on before long and people are not hating on her. It's not about hating on her. It's that you feel she is getting a level of attention that you deserved and you warranted long before she ever came along.
Previous seasons established Collier as a legitimate candidate for best player recognition. Her playoff performance, including the 40-point series average against Phoenix, proved her ability to elevate play when stakes increase. Without that exceptional individual performance, Minnesota likely would have exited the playoffs earlier. The narrative that Collier represents merely a hot start ignores her sustained excellence over multiple seasons and high-pressure situations. Several players' comments about feeling unsafe in certain venues, particularly Indiana, lacks supporting evidence and unfairly characterize fan bases that include diverse audiences, primarily children. These statements damage the sport's reputation and create unnecessary controversy without factual basis.
You would think that somebody who is now free, back in America on home soil, would not have too much to complain about.
She this is not a statement that was made. Obviously sent out. Like, it is. They literally said there's some
League media coverage appears influenced by certain player preferences rather than objective analysis. This bias prevents honest evaluation of player performance and creates artificial narratives that don't reflect court reality, current statistical evidence, defensive impact, team success, and overall basketball excellence point toward Collier as the league's most valuable player. This assessment relies on measurable performance rather than external factors or historical reputation. The MVP conversation should center on basketball achievement, and current evidence strongly supports Collier's candidacy for both MVP recognition and consideration as the league's best overall player. The Golden State Valkyries delivered a crushing blow to the Las Vegas Aces, securing a commanding 95-68 victory that sent shockwaves throughout the WNBA. This wasn't merely a win, it was a complete domination that exposed fundamental flaws in what was once considered an unstoppable franchise. The 27-point margin of victory represents the Aces' most devastating defeat since their championship-winning seasons, raising serious questions about the team's current trajectory. For a squad that captured back-to-back titles and seemed destined for dynasty status, this performance was nothing short of catastrophic. Central to this narrative is the departure of Kelsey Plum, who now stars for the Los Angeles Sparks after being traded in a blockbuster 3-team deal. The timing of this collapse, coinciding with Plum's exit, has created uncomfortable questions about the true source of Las Vegas's previous success.